Okay, let's talk about compound inequalities and absolute value inequalities. Um, so if you'll notice, we've got compound inequalities again. And you see the word "and" right there. That's what makes it compounds. So remember, "and" says, I'll give you $100 if you come to my house, you mow my yard, and you clean the inside of my house. So you have to do both. So for this one, we're looking for where they overlap. Okay, so we solve these separately. So I'm going to add 5. So I get 3w is less than or equal to -9. Divide by 3. Everything stays the same. Okay, and add 1. So 4w is greater than or equal to 20. Divide by 4. W is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so we have to look at these on a number line. -3 would be here, 0, and 5. So I'm going to use different colors so you guys can see. So I want everything greater than or equal to 5. So remember that equal to says to shade the circle in, and all the numbers bigger than 5 go this way. So here is W is greater than or equal to 5. And then over here it says W is less than or equal to -3. So I want all the things equal to -3, but less than, that's the less than side. So all the numbers less than 3 go this way, less than or equal to -3. And this was an and. Do these overlap? They do not. And so the final answer for this problem would be the empty set, okay? Because they didn't overlap, they don't have anything in common. Your ands have to have something in common. Let's look at another one. So for this one, again, I've got an and, okay? So again, I'm looking for where they overlap. So I solve each side, add 4. So 3y is greater than or equal to -1 plus 4 is a +3. Divide by 3, so y is greater than or equal to 1, and add 3. So 2y is greater than 8. Divide by 2, so y is greater than 4. Okay, so for this one, I will show my number line. So I need a 1, I need 4, 0 would be here, -1 would be there, okay, but I need just the 1 and the 4. And so now I'm going to show you y is greater than or equal to 1. So that would be a solid on the 1, and all the numbers bigger than 1 go this way. So here is y is greater than or equal to 1. And then y is greater than 4. That would be an open circle because there's not the equal to symbol. And all the numbers bigger go this way. So there's y is greater than 4. And so the next question is, what do they have in common? Where do they overlap? Where do they overlap? So right here, if you're looking at what they have in common, they don't have a 4 in common because 4 is not included here. 4 is included right there, but not right here. So in my final answer, I can't have a 4 because remember, what they have in common is just where they overlap. And where they overlap, it's going to start off at the 4, but it's going to go all the way out to infinity. And if you recall, I talked about, okay, if it's going to start off at the 4, but it can't equal the 4, then we use a parentheses. And then on my infinity, you always put a parentheses. So the final answer is from 4 to infinity. And that's what your interval notation would look like. That's an and. Now let's look at an or. Okay, so what would an or look like? So notice our word changed here. Now we have the word O or. So if it's something or something, okay, so I'm going to give you $100 if you come to my house and you mow my grass or you clean the inside of my house. So to get the $100, you could mow my grass, you get $100, even if you didn't clean the inside. If you clean the inside, you get $100, even if you don't mow my grass. If you clean the inside and you mow my grass, you're still going to get the $100 because you at least did one of them. So we're looking for any shading. So once I solve this one, all of these will be in the final answer, and all of these will be in the final answer. We include them both for this problem. Okay? So we'll go back to solving. I'm going to divide by -4. Since I divided by a negative, I have to reverse the symbol. So I get u is less than or equal to -8 divided by -4 is a +2. On the next one, I'll subtract 2. So I get 2u is greater than 10. Divide by 2. So I get u is greater than 5. So let's draw our number line. And let's shade. So I know I needed 2 and 5 would be over here. Remember, 0 is over here somewhere. Okay. So let's do some shading. So I have u is less than or equal to 2. So that means a solid circle on 2, and less than goes this way. So there is a picture of u is less than or equal to 2. Then u is greater than 5. Okay, it's not equal to 5, so I put an open circle, and then I shade this way. Okay, because I want greater than. U is greater than 5. All the numbers bigger than 5. So this is a visual of my answer. So the final answer, remember, it can be here or here. So on my number line, if I were drawing a final answer, the final answer would look like this. I would include both pieces because it can be in one piece or the other piece. So now I have to write that interval notation. Remember, the interval notation is just a shorthand, so we have to write the interval notation for this piece, then we have to write the interval notation for this piece. Okay, remember the first, whatever you write first is the smallest value, and then comma to the biggest value. So the biggest thing shaded in this little section is 2. And the 2 is solid, so I use a bracket, remember? And then over here, this arrow, it's going off in the negative direction forever. And so my smallest value would be way down there, somewhere, -infinity, okay? Then for this piece of the number line, my smallest value is 5, and then the numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? And so we say it goes out to +infinity. I always use a parentheses around infinity because it's not a real number, it's a concept. And then for this 5, I'll use a parentheses this time because it was an open circle. Closed circle bracket, open circle parentheses. And now since I have to have this piece or this piece, I use a U symbol. That symbol means union. It means put them together. And so this is your final answer.